Hi, this is iMechanish and welcome to another Marvelous Videos. The Transformers franchise introduced combining robots in 1982 with the Diaclone toy line. The combining robots formed individual characters and could combine among themselves to create a larger robot with superior power levels. Since then, the two teams, Autobots and Decepticons, began having their own set of combiner bots. In today's video, we will discuss one such combiner robot of the Decepticons, Bruticus. The character made more than many appearances in the different forms of media and was considered one of the powerful assets of the Decepticon. Although in most stories, Bruticus was a combined form of the Combaticons, some had altered depictions. So without any further delay, let us begin. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, then please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you, and let's begin. Who is Bruticus? Among the different military factions of the Decepticon troops, there were the Combaticons, who were known for their aggressive nature and precision. The Combaticons, namely Brawl, Blastoff, Vortex, Swindle, and their leader, Onslaught, had the ability to combine and transform into a gigantic and lethal robot called Bruticus. At times, Decepticon Shockwave transformed into Bruticus's weapon. The Transformers cartoon from the General 1 continually showcased Bruticus in numerous episodes. He first appeared in Season 2, Episode 42, titled Aerial Assault, during the battle with the aerial bots, but chronologically, his origin story is well depicted in Season 2, Episode 47, titled Starscream's Brigade. As the episode begins at the Decepticon headquarters, Starscream is upset at Megatron, praising Soundwave for being his ideal soldier. Soon the banter's turned into a fight, following which Starscream is incapacitated by Megatron and discarded. On the island of Guadalcanal in the South Pacific, Starscream discovered a few old and wrecked vehicles from World War II. He arrived at the Decepticon Space Bridge Center and forced the guards, Thundercracker and Skywarp, to teleport him to Cybertron. On Cybertron, Starscream broke into the Decepticon Detention Center and stole the personality components of 5 renegade Decepticons. The renegade Decepticons were political prisoners whose bodies were destroyed, but their personality components were saved under Megatron's orders. Starscream returned to the Guadalcanal island and placed the components on each of the wrecked vehicles. He called them his army of Combaticons and began his quest to take down Megatron and rule over the Decepticons. Megatron, with the help of his constructions, confronted Starscream and his Combaticons, who appeared to be gaining the upper hand. The Constructicons combined to form Devastator, following which the Combaticons combined to form Bruticus. Bruticus knocked Devastator with ease and got hold of Megatron. Just as Megatron was about to yield and declare Starscream as the new leader, the Stunticons arrived, combining into Menasor, and delivered a powerful and unexpected blow to Bruticus. Bruticus was defeated along with Starscream and banished to space on a meteorite. The story of Bruticus further continued to the next episode, titled The Revenge of Bruticus, where the giant colossal robot attacked and besieged Cybertron. The Combaticons, using Cybertron's advanced technology, reprogrammed the space bridge that would cause the Earth to pull in the direction of the Sun, hoping to destroy the entire planet along with Megatron. However, the combined efforts of the Decepticons and the Autobots, the danger was averted, and Bruticus was taken down for good. Following this, Megatron ordered his troops to reprogram the giant robot to serve as his minion. Following this story, we get to understand the events happening in the episode titled Aerial Assault, where Bruticus appeared as one of Megatron's military factions. In an unnamed Middle Eastern country, Megatron had allied with a man named Ali. He promised Ali world domination in exchange for his help in stealing aircraft parts from a nearby hangar. As a number of aircrafts kept missing, the aerial bots were assigned to take a look over it. While flying over a nearby cannon, they encountered the Combaticons, who incessantly attacked them. Dirge and Slingshot ended up trapped in a cave, after which Blastoff sealed the way. Fortunately, Optimus and the rest of the Autobots carried and helped them fight off the Combaticons and rescue Dirge and Slingshot. While repairing them in a nearby hangar, Skydive suggested serving as base debate in the hangar to figure out what was happening to the missing aircraft. Silverbolt joined Skydive and both of them remained in the hangar. Soon Ali's men arrived and began dismantling the aircraft, even the two aerial bots. Soon Megatron's plans were revealed, and he was using the stolen parts to build his army of drone jets and the giant purple griffin, with the help of a young boy named Hassan, who was Prince Jamal in disguise. The dismantled aerial bots managed to assemble their parts and attack Megatron and his Combaticons. The Combaticons then combined to transform into Bruticus, who easily managed to knock the two aerial bots. Fortunately, they had summoned the remaining aerial bots, who soon arrived and combined to form Superion. Superion fought Megatron and Bruticus near an oil field, and after Superior set it on fire, the Decepticons were blasted away. Bruticus and the Combaticons also played one of the pivotal characters in episode 49 of season 2. The episode begins with the Combaticons attacking a city for reasons unknown. They combined it to form Bruticus and continued their destruction before Defensor arrived and knocked Bruticus with a single shot. Among the Combaticons, only Swindle survived, but instead of reassembling the other damaged Combaticons, he sought to sell their parts. Meanwhile, Megatron was working on his orbit disruptor cannon and had plans to destroy Earth's moon, after which Soundwave would control the planet's tides. Skywarp, upon arriving at the Combaticon base, learned things to be unusual. He noticed parts of the Combaticons and followed them to realize Swindle's motives. Swindle was then taken to Megatron, who placed an explosive on his head, which he would detonate in 15 hours if Swindle did not reassemble the team. Swindle did manage to reassemble the team, but they could not combine into Bruticus, as Brawl's personality component was still missing. It was with 3 kids who would obtain the component from a scrapyard and use it to build their own robot for their school science project. Upon placing the component, their robot began ransacking the lab. Luckily, they managed to send a distress signal received by the Autobots, who soon arrived and attempted to stop the robot. Swindle, at the mercy of Megatron, makes another attempt, and after following the kids and the robot, they managed to obtain the personality component from the robot. He returned to Megatron and placed it on Brawl, after which they could combine to form Bruticus. With Bruticus reformed, Megatron sought to take a shot with his orbit disruptor at the Autobot headquarters. The Protectobots arrived and combined into Defensor. However, with the Decepticons, they gained the upper hand, and as Bruticus was about to use the orbit disruptor, the 3 students gained access to the cannon controls, and with the aid of their robot, the cannon shot Megatron, Bruticus, and the other Decepticons, eventually leading to victory for the Autobots. He had a minor appearance in the episode of Season 3 where he served as one of Galvatron's soldiers during battle. During the events associated with the spreading of Hate Plague in Season 3, Episode 29, Bruticus was first to get infected. Bruticus from the Japanese cartoon continuity. Bruticus had prominent appearances in the Japanese cartoon continuity. In Scramble City, Mobilization, Bruticus was showcased fighting alongside the Decepticons during their attack on Scramble City. Scramble City project was a giant mobile fortress on which the Autobots and their human allies had been working diligently, and several Decepticons were dispatched under Starscream's command to attack. The aerial bots managed to defend the fortress until the Stunticons arrived. Forming Manasa, they confronted Superion and managed to corrupt its formation by shooting at its joints. Superion still managed to hold his place and fight back, but to make things worse, the Combaticons were summoned as well. Combaticons soon combined into Bruticus and tag teamed with Menasor against Superior. Just as things were getting out of hand, Scramble City itself transformed into a giant robot, Metroplex, and stopped the battle. Bruticus serving as a Decepticon's formidable asset in the Headmaster Cartoons. Bruticus, who also showcased in several episodes of the Headmaster Cartoons as one of the several combiners of Decepticons, he was part of their assault on Cybertron until he was driven away by Fortress Maximus. When Hot Rod went in pursuit of the Matrix of Leadership, the Combaticons were assigned to stop Hot Rod. They encountered the Protectobots, and soon a battle began between their combined forms, Bruticus and Defensor. Defensor. Eventually, Defensor managed to blast a mountain behind Bruticus and trap him under rock and debris. In most appearances of Bruticus, he had been showcased fighting an Autobot combiner. He defended the Trypticon against Superion in the episode titled The Great Cassette Operation, while in the episode titled Cybertron is in Grave Danger, he tussled with Defensor during an attack on the Cybertron. In the episode titled Head On, Fortress Maximus, the Decepticons had planted a giant carnivorous plant in the middle of San Francisco, which destroyed buildings and everything around the city. When the Autobots responded to the crisis and reached the location, Bruticus ambushed and attacked them. He battled with Raiden with his energy sword. Later, in episode 25, titled The Emperor of Destruction Vanishes on an Iceberg, he fought the Autobots as a part of Six Shots Major Strike on Earth. He had reoccurring appearances in the subsequent episodes where he fought battles against the Autobots. Bruticus is one of the 9 great demon generals in the Zone cartoons. In the Zone cartoon, an enhanced Bruticus was showcased. Going by the Zone storyline, 15 years have passed and several different Decepticon leaders have come and gone. The troops came under the leadership of a mysterious supernatural entity known as Violengwigar. Violengwigar sought to create a team of 9 great demon generals from Decepticon history. These Decepticons included Overlord, Black Zarak, Devastator, Dominus, King Poseidon, Trypticon, Predaking, Menasor, and Bruticus. Bruticus was given the title of Flame General and given new armor with advanced weaponry, making him stronger than he was before. Violengwigar sent them to conquer different planets, and Bruticus was assigned planet Femina. During his conquest, he encountered the Autobots on the planet and fought them. Although he seemed unstoppable, he was defeated by the combined efforts of the Supercar Patrol Team, Rescue Patrol Team, Battle Patrol Team, Moon Radar, and Galaxy Rocket. Later, he, along with the rest of the Demon Generals, schooled Metro Squad and Metro Titan to serve their evil purposes, making them lethal opponents of the Power Masters. During the raid on Planet Zone for Energon Z, Bruticus was also present with the other generals, but only joined the rest after their objectives were fulfilled. He did not participate in the fight but waited there until the other generals obtained Energon Z and returned with them to Earth. Bruticus in comic. Bruticus being a deadly Decepticon in the comics. Following the TV magazine comic continuity, Bruticus appeared in The Fight, Super Robot Lifeform Transformers comic, where he teamed up with Menasor to fight against Superion and Defensor in a baseball stadium. The two Decepticons were about to be victorious before Bruticus got his legs knocked off, and Streetwise and First Aid managed to blast him off into the Pacific Ocean. The Combaticons later were shown to be pursuing a dog imbued with Decepticon super science. However, Powerglide interfered and soon summoned a unit of Autobot minibots. When the minibots arrived, the Combaticons combined to form Bruticus and attacked them. Luckily, the dog granted special powers to Powerglide, allowing him to combine with the other Autobots and blow Bruticus away. Bruticus also appeared in the story of Super Robot Lifeforms, the Transformers comics, where he, along with Menasor and Devastator, engaged in a battle against Superion, Defensor, and Omega Supreme from the Autobots on planet Femina. The fight was leading to a draw before Galvatron summoned Predaking to take part in it. Predaking's powers were far superior to that of the Autobots, and slowly the tables turned in favor of the Decepticons. However, the Omnibots tried Predaking's shoelaces and made the gigantic robot fall over Bruticus and the rest, sending them knocking onto the ground to bits. In the Great Transformer War, the Combaticons faced Superion in the combined form of Bruticus and joined Menasor to fight the Dino base from the Protectobots. The story of Bruticus from the Zone comics was similar to that of the Zone cartoons, where the supernatural entity Violengwigar created his 9 demon generals and sent them to conquer different planets. Bruticus further enhanced. Although there were changes in the appearance of the Transformers, the Wings Universe comics were based on the General 1 continuity cartoons. The comic showcased the Decepticon warlord Deathosaurus, who was highly interested in the combination creation of technology that could merge robots into a bigger and stronger one. The Autobot elite guards inhibited his experiment until the Combaticons joined him. Death Asaurus upgraded their parts, after which they successfully combined into Bruticus. Surrounded by the Autobot elite guards, Bruticus crushed the commanding officer, Sentinel Major, with one hand. The rest of the guards tried their level best to take the colossal robot down, but all their efforts were in vain, as Bruticus was unstoppable. Bruticus eliminated more than half of the guards until Metal Hawk's strike team arrived. Despite having excellent combatants like Ironhide and Overrun, Bruticus killed all the Metal Hawks and left. At some point, Buster, Witwicky, and Optimus saw a vision of the future. The Matrix induced the vision and showcased Autobots battling against the Decepticon special teams over the Pullen Power Plant. The Combaticons were also present in the battle, and they were shown to be merging into Bruticus and attacking the Autobots. While Prime had these visions, Soundwave managed to tap into them and find the possibilities of such an outcome. Marvel's version of Bruticus. Bruticus also made his appearance in Marvel the Transformers comic in 3 issues, excluding the UK-only issue. In issue 24, titled After Death, Megatron and his Combaticons were on their mission to steal a powerful hydrothermocline from Energy Features Industrials, when Optimus, along with the Protectobots, arrived and confronted. While the Combaticons combined to form Bruticus, the Protectobots combined to form Defensor. The two combiners battled until the entire building complex was turned into dust. Defensor and Bruticus were also shown engaged in battle in issue 35, titled Child's Play. Bruticus used his sonic stun gun, but it was no match for Defensor's force fields. The fight continued in hand-to-hand combat when Bruticus managed to smack Defensor and knock him down. He appeared to be winning the battle, but Blaster managed to sneak attack him by toppling a power line on him and blasting him away. Bruticus in a violent streak. In an audiobook released in 1986 titled Special Teams, Bruticus was mentioned to be a violent criminal after Starscream imbued his personality into the giant robot. The story featured a battle between combiners in the Pullen Power Plant, Menassa and Bruticus versus Superior and Defensor. The battle continued for Bruticus until he got distracted by Menassa, and Defensor managed to take him down. Bruticus going berserk. In the Transformers/G.I. Joe comics, Bruticus was shown to be created by Destro and Starscream to overthrow their leaders in the year 1939. Bruticus was finally created with the help of Cybertronian and human technology with no mind of his own. Later, when the Autobots and G.I. Joe fought against Cobra, Destro betrayed Starscream and activated Bruticus, ordering the giant robot to decimate everyone present. While battling the colossal artificial robot, Iron Fist realized that this robot was not really alive like the rest of them, following which Optimus deduced that the only way to take Bruticus down was to let him destroy the Matrix of leadership. Snake Eyes lets Bruticus destroy the Matrix, and it destroys him. Starscream and Bruticus. In the Dreamwave Generation 1 continuity, Bruticus was the combiner bot formed by the Combaticons. However, when Optimus and Megatron were missing and assumed to be dead, the rest of the robots decided not to work with Bruticus. Although Bruticus did not accept the deal, the Combaticons agreed, causing the giant robot to remain dormant. Later, Bruticus was shown working for Starscream. He was taken to Earth, where he successfully defeated a few Autobots. Starscream complimented him, but when the rest of the Autobots managed to escape, Starscream expressed his disappointment. Confused, Bruticus blew up the Autobot base, which further enraged Starscream as he wanted it in one piece. Bruticus faced Sunstorm, who was too fast for him to attack. His head was blown off and he went to sleep again. Later, during his training with Sky Lynx, Predaking interfered and attacked him. Starscream escaped like a coward while Bruticus fought Predaking. He was finally hurt and put to sleep again. Bruticus Toy Line. The Bruticus pack was released in 1986, 1991 and 2009 as the Combaticons, which could be combined to form the Bruticus figure. The 4 Combaticons Blast Off, Brawl, Swindle and Vortex attach themselves to Onslaught's shoulder and at the bottom of his feet via sockets. The 4 limbs of Bruticus had fists and feet pads, and the entire figure is completed with a large chest plate and a helmet. Onslaught, his sonic stun gun, was also available with toys which could be stored in his backpack. backpack. Package art of the figure had Brawl's face forward on his leg, and even if faced backwards, the stability of the toy transformer was not affected in any way. In most markets in Japan and Italy, individual Combaticon figures were released and sold with a gift set. These were released in markets in several parts of Europe in 1991 as part of the Classics line. In 2009, the Bruticus gift set was reissued by Takara Tomy in Japan. In 1994, individual Combaticons were released during Generation 2. The new series was more accurately designed, with an enhancement like an additional missile launcher and a hole in Onslaught's backpack where the weapon could be placed. Marvelous verdict. Finally, we've come to the end of our video, and we hope it has been entertaining and informative, going through the character's depiction in all the different media. It can be stated that Bruticus was one of the strongest arsenals of the Decepticons. Though most of his appearances, he has been shown to be fighting against Autobot combiners, and we can only hope to watch him in live-action films. The films have already introduced the Devastator, and we hope to get a glimpse of Bruticus soon. And if you liked our content, well, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks everyone.
Cybertron, Bruticus hates you all.